NLP, so you have to understand that. I'm not teaching NLP. If you like NLP, I have another preview coming up. So the idea of this tool is more about sales. So today, these two hours, I will be focusing on sales, and sales is actually a #1 skill. And this important point I want to make is, how many of you actually are truly concerned, worried about your sales? Thank you. And how many of you notice that in your business, the #1 problem, like those who have actually registered through my Eventbrite, do you notice that actually I ask you one question? If you are not from my Eventbrite, you notice I actually got 2 sets of advertisements. I asked my partner, I call him partner, although we are not partner, I asked my partner to do one short copy on ClickFunnels. I wrote one long piece, which Adeline's website, so I've seen that, because Adeline used Eventbrite to register, so I know that. You didn't see my long version, you just go and click it anyway. I know where you guys are coming from. I know that because I have the data. So the lesson that I learned is that in sales, if you are insisting on only one method of talking to your prospect, you only get that group of people. In fact, to be honest, my partner's list is actually longer than mine, which is very interesting because he said, just because you write lousy copy, you don't know how to write. I said, really? It's because I tend to attract people who are me, who like me. I don't attract people who don't like me. That's why I use his list, write a short copy, so I have a long version, I have a short version, and you somehow come to this room. I don't know which list you are from, honestly, like real, I know. But the point is that I am doing 2 sets of copies to capture as many people as possible. If I'm not good at those short copy, I outsource and ask my friend to do it. And my friend converted better than me, honestly. Okay? It's not because I don't write long copy, I just like to write long thing anyway. Okay, so without further ado, let's start this discussion. The topic is called increase in sales by up to 300%. How many of you are actually skeptical about this 300% thing? Skeptical? Super, okay. 300% is a mathematical proof. So in this presentation, I would demystify, or maybe I ask my friend to help me demystify, she knows how to do it. So, so demystify what is meant by 300%. It's not a number that will come out. Some trainer will say, I will help you increase your sales by 85%. I'll help you increase your sales by 267%. What is that number from? So this 300% is mathematically proven. So you will understand later on. So before I start, is it okay if I introduce our founder to talk for a while? I don't know whether the sound system is good. I don't know, so trust me, if sound system is not good, that means something should be done.
Founder and CEO of Bankcode, and I want to do an amazing endorsement for our certified and licensed trainer, Mr. Jack Wong. I've known him for several years. He's a fantastic trainer. We're honored to be able to work with him, and he's teaching a revolutionary methodology called Bank, designed to increase your sales up to 300%. Make sure you get back with him because he can teach you how to unlock the secrets, the science, and the system to supercharge your sales in less than 90 seconds, and you can take that to the bank.
So this is Sherry Tree, the founder and CEO of Bankcode, and she did her last certification course in Singapore. Some of you actually asked me a question, do we get certified and therefore we are now able to train? Yes. Without certification, we can't train this. But do I actually get the certification and just because I attended another seminar, I'm able to train it and I start training, so I'm teaching what I learned in the seminar? No. I am a person, if you know me well, I never ever bluff. I don't wing. I only teach principles that I personally experienced. There's no theory, there's no another seminar that I learned from and apply immediately. So the key thing about this presentation is something that I have a lot of conviction. In fact, this morning, I actually asked 2 ladies to sort out a card, which I'll demonstrate what is meant later on. And one lady actually said, wow, my mind was blown away. Because I asked the question, I sold her the idea. Why tax is a good thing? Why learning tax is a good thing? And she was sold. The other lady, I actually asked her, let me tell you this, you love to learn. Your proposition is that lifelong learning is good for you. And she said, yeah, you speak my mind. This morning, okay? So this is how powerful it is. So I just introduce myself for those who haven't seen it before. I'm actually a certified licensed trainer with Banco. Of course, the point is that I only have that small box here. So other than this, I'm the first and only certified trainer by Blessinger. Blessinger is the rich dad advisor for Robert Kiyosaki. I'm the first and only one right now in Singapore. That's why I can do the training like Blair. Of course, not as skillful as Blair, because Blair has been doing it for 30 years. I only started this from 2012. But I'm using his methodology to train. So this is me, and I have achieved my 6 figures in my 3rd year of my business. I left the corporate world in 2011, and then I ventured as a consultant, as a trainer, as a speaker. But I'm getting sick and tired now, because I realized that a lot of people need to be helped. So this is my recent inspiration from one guy called Mr. Dan Lok, D-A-N-L-O-K, Dan Lok. Dan Lok is also a Hong Konger, but he migrated to Vancouver for a long time, and he can speak perfect Cantonese. His English is like mine. You can tell we are from Hong Kong. The thing is that Dan has a mission of changing 1 million people's life, and specifically entrepreneur. So I found that it is good for me too. So somehow I decided to follow his path and change my mission. It's no longer just to help people. I specifically want to help entrepreneurs. I specifically want to help them to be more successful. And finally, in case you don't know, I'm a professor. That's to suit the knowledge people. I'm an adjunct professor in, last time we called SIM, SIM, but now they changed the name to Singapore, hope I get it right, Singapore University of Social Sciences. They changed the name just 2 months ago. So I'm actually an associate professor in international tax in this university. So what did I do this for? When you introduce your profile, you notice that we have got different colors here. I'm actually speaking to different groups of people at the same time. So this is the first thing. I'm not here using Sherry's presentation just to go through the slides. I want you to learn. I'm deconstructing for you today. So that's why I'm better now. See, this is my anchor now. It's like I want to prove to you that I'm better now. Okay? So the whole point is that I'm here to deconstruct how you can introduce yourself using 4 languages. So you'll find this session a bit different from what other certified trainers will do. Now you may have done the research. You know that there are other certified trainers in Singapore who are running this program. They may be going through the slides. I don't know actually how they train. Honestly, I don't know. I don't want to speculate. My job as a trainer, I actually like to deconstruct the slides because I just love doing that. So I'm actually transfer these skills to you so that you can apply in your life, in your business. So for example, like Wesker, we have done this before. If I ask Wesker, what do? You remember the story? What do you do, Wesker? Say it. What do you do?
Okay, I'm an image consultant.
You're an image consultant.
Yeah.
Does anybody know what is image consultant doing? You do. You do. Only 2 people. How about others? Do you know what is an image consultant doing? So you only attract 2 people. So what are you doing actually?
So I'm actually a style coach who actually train people on knowing how to dress from daily basics, everyday works to functions. And of course I'm eventually into fashion, so I actually know somehow like material with the fashion industry, so that the fashion shows, so I train people on that.
Okay, so now you see that he's keeping a bit more meat. How long have you been doing this?
2 years.
2 years. Why is 2 years important? Because 2 years is not just experience. Look at this. blueprint. Blueprint looks for track record, looks for experience, looks for how many years you have spent on doing this.
哎呀，又讲了。
Of course. Of course.
非常英文的吧。
Of course. So the thing is that you are just no longer saying that I'm an image consultant. I'm actually a trainer. I'm a life coach. Over the last 2 years, I help. How many people have you helped? Give me a number. 100? 200? 1,000? 300? Okay. Over the last 2 years, I helped over 300 people. Where are they from? Geographical location.
Tertiary school.
Tertiary school. I have helped 300 students from tertiary education to teach them a skill. Look at my pointer. Over the last 2 years, I have helped 300 tertiary students, helping them to help them a skills that is to dress to impress, so that they are unforgettable, so that they can inspire people, so that they can actually be shining on stage and help more people. I'm speaking 4 languages.
4 languages.
Although it's not smooth, because this is something that I had to do immediately. So do you believe that with a bit more practices, you'll be doing better and better? So as I told Sandy yesterday, it is about a practice. It's like, even though I just listened to this information for 10 seconds, I ask a couple of questions, this is how I come up with it. So I want you, the first thing to go back is to really look at this statement about what do you do. Are you able to incorporate the 4 languages? Because your job is to enroll 100%. How many percent? 100%. That's right. Even though you do not enroll 100%, isn't it true that it's better than your own group of people? You are able to attract other types of people. Okay, so that is the whole point. I have 3 kids at home. If you think that I have a good family, I'm actually having a very good family there. But it's not always like that, because my boy is a very rebellious. He's just like me when I was young. At the age of 16, do I know where I go? Yes, I know. I know my objective very well. I aspire to be a lawyer at the age of 16, and that's why I am a law student. But my son said to me, I don't know what I want. I don't know what I want to do. I say, do whatever you can and get it there. So recently, he loves video marketing. So I asked him this question. So video marketing, which poly does he offer? I say, this poly, I honestly cannot remember which one, but the GC O-level score is there, is 12 points. 12 points. How is your L1, L4 doing? If you know L1, L4, that is the guideline. His L1, L4 is about 20 at this point in time. Hasn't done the O-level yet, but it's estimated to be about 20. So I asked him, so what else do you want to do? I will go to CJC and apply to be part of apply to join the soccer team. Oh, okay, soccer team, good, because he can play soccer. You can actually search his Instagram. He has a few videos showing you the David Beckham shot. This bugger is better than me in terms of soccer. Okay, so he found his purpose in life. And my job as a dad is to really help him to realize all this dream. I can't influence what he wants to do, and obviously I cannot force him to be like me, be a lawyer, be a doctor. I mean, it doesn't work anymore. So my goal is to help him to succeed, because in 2 years down the road, he is going to NS, and he will have his own life. And my middle girl, Isabel, this is Sam, this is Isabel. Isabel went to Dunman High last Saturday. And then the week before, she went to LGS. So he can tell you how old is my daughter right now. So combine my son and my daughter, I have a very challenging year. I always like to ask people, if your son or your kids is having PSLE this year, I have a double issue than yours. Because my girl is going for PSLE, and my boy is going for GC O-level. To make the matter even worse, my youngest daughter Zoe is going for PSLE next year. So this is called my new stress. But the good thing about this is that I know I need to spend more time with them. Because like my daughter was very nice to me, and she said after going to RGS 2 weeks ago, she said to me, Daddy, I want to go to RGS. I feel very touched. Why? Because my daughter is so motivated and said, I want to go to RGS. Instead of me asking my daughter to go, she said she wanted to go. Very good, I'm so touched, I'm very happy. You see that suddenly, wow, I'm so happy about it. And then last week we went to Dunman High. And the moment I stepped to Dunman High, the feeling about a Chinese education institution is there. And the principal speaks like her principal right now, which is Dr. Chin from Daonan School. So I joked with Isabel and asked, hey, that principal speaks like your principal right now. Oh yeah, really? Yes, they are the same. So, ask your question, would you like to have 12 years of Dr. Chin? No, I don't want, I want RGS. So what do I notice about this? That is because people in this category, they don't like the traditional method. Traditional method, outrageous method. My conversation with you right now, I'm constantly doing this decoding for you so that you know I'm using this language even in this presentation. Fair? So that you see my language. Yeah, exactly. And my daughter somehow likes the feel of RGS because it's cool. The girls are shook. I don't know what it means because I wasn't a girl. But the point is that she loves them. Okay, sounds good to me. And my little girl, my youngest girl, is always a helping hand. You ask her to do one, to go to this place, she'll go to this place. She doesn't ask what it is about. She doesn't ask or question why. She will just fulfill. Daddy, Zoe, can you help me to bring my phone? I forgot to bring my phone down. Okay, go up and bring down. I have 4 degrees. Look at the pointer. I have 4 degrees. I master a skill set that is very transferable. This is sales. For me, I love to study, I love to learn, I love to master certain things. So we have a very interesting family because we've got all sorts of people here. My wife, by the way, by profession, she is an accountant. She worked in a multinational company as a finance director. Only this type of people can handle it. Imagine if you ask this person to handle numbers, you better get an accountant to handle that. So what I'm telling you so far is that we are dealing with different peoples with different code. So if I were to speak one language, or if I'm going to do just one presentation using my favorite language, I will very easily lose a lot of people in the room. So your job from this point onwards is to be aware that you need to constantly enroll how many percent? 100%, thank you. So your job is to make sure that you constantly use this language to achieve a better result for you. Whether you speak in front of the room, whether you do one-on-one close, or whether you are doing one to a few people, it works. Interestingly, even for this set of rules or set of things that we talked about so far, although it was applied to sales originally, that was how this tool started. However, recently, we have got a situation where we can even apply to relationship. So I've decided to make an executive decision to impress people who haven't seen me before. I'm going to deviate from the presentation a little bit and talk about a story of true colors. Am I okay to share with you true colors? How many of you actually know about what we call the divorce rate in Singapore? Admission. You have done statistics, right? You know the record. 1 out of 3, around there. Don't call me this government source. Okay? So 1 out of 3 actually are in divorce. How many of you are married right now? It's okay, don't worry. I'm not asking you any difficult question. Do you want to know the secret? How many of you actually have been married for 15 years? Okay, good. I know that I will have somebody more qualified than me, so I'm getting into trouble. Now, how many of you are married for more than 20? See, I know that. 21? See, I lost. But I decided to do it because I know she has a longer marriage than me. And thank you for sharing. See, I check background. I check background. We know each other, so honestly. So I want to share with you how this couple are able to sustain a marriage for 20 years. Would you like to know the secret formula? Okay, the secret formula is this. Maybe I should start off with the story about how they started, how they get to each other. There was one fine day in university. That was 1990. I used to say 1989, and somebody scolded me. They said, "No, your facts are wrong. Facts are wrong." Say, it's 1990. Okay, I changed the story. The facts are wrong. Yeah. So there was this guy studying in university. At that time, he's alone. He has no girlfriend, no boyfriend. He's alone, and the thing is that he is a very, very interesting person because he mastered a skill that is so important that is called accounting. In fact, when he was in year 1, he's already studying year 2, year 3 stuffs. He attended classes in year 2 and year 3. And interestingly, in his university's life, he's actually coaching and helping year 2 and year 3 students. Yeah. This guy, if I remember correctly, in primary school, when he was in primary 3, he's already studying primary 6 stuff. And sometimes secondary 1. So he feels lonely, and he said, how come my life is like that? I'm spending all my time in library. Sometimes I want a break, I want to chill. There was this lady, on the other hand, show up in his life, and he looked at this lady and said, that lady is very interesting because she can cook well, and she can really, really cook well. So once, twice, 3 times, that happens. He has a lot of meals prepared by her. Lovely. On the other hand, this lady is a general student. She didn't study year 2 stuff in year 1, she just followed the path. So she needs to pass the exam, and she needs resources. So she finds this guy. Can you teach me? I need to pass the exam. And offer this guy, you cook for me, no problem. That's all right. So that's how they got together in university days. As time goes by, they have been staying together in the university accommodation, and later on they got married. They got married in 1996. What happened was that if you think the marriage is smooth because love at first sight, then how can they tahan for 20 years? Imagine they haven't studied this, they haven't done any personal development, they haven't done any personal development. This is what could happen. One fine day, or when I talk about this guy first, I went to T. Harv Eker seminar. How many of you have been to a T. Harv Eker seminar called Mini and Mind Intensive? What did he say about growing and what? If you don't grow, you die. Thank you. So I believe this because I am a lifelong learner. I believe T. Harv Eker. I believe that if I don't grow, I die. So you have to come to seminar with me because if you don't grow, you die. Wow. For this lady, you tell her die? No way. This is like hitting the button, the hot button. Okay? So on the other hand, the story is always 2 sides. You always go for seminar. You spend your weekend in T. Harv Eker seminar. Sometimes you travel around the world. How about our family? How about our kids? But if you don't grow, you die. So this is what a marriage can happen. If I don't understand you, you don't understand me, this is a problem. In the end, and usually Wesker will be helping me to pick up. And this is always the case. Thank you. So imagine they know this system, they know this tool, what could happen? So they get together and discuss some of the rules that they can compromise. And they say, okay, if you don't grow, you die. Okay, let's agree on a timeline. Let's agree on certain days where we can spend time together, attend seminar together. So in the recent, I think starting from 2014, they have been attending some seminars together.
Yes.
They grow, don't talk. I know you know the story, don't talk. But for those who know the story, please do not participate. Just enjoy yourself. Okay? So they actually attend seminar together. They are seen together in attending seminar. And on the other hand, he made an agreement with the wife and say that I will make my time for the family, and the commitment is every week 2 hours of quality time. And people who are thinking 2 hours, is so simple, I can do it too. But to this guy who is so busy in his life, 2 hours is like 200 hours. It's not easy for him. But he made a commitment to be in 2 hours with family. It's just because of their awareness. It's just because they know each other. This is how they are able to marry for over 20 years. So this is my personal story.
Not because of the food.
Please. So this is actually my personal story. This is how I use this in my life. I don't talk about sales. I just talk about my family, as you notice. Why? Because at the end of the day, if you ask yourself, how many of you have attended any sales training before? It's not your first training. You have been attending sales training before. Yeah. So in sales training, what happens is that your trainer will teach you, okay, I'm going to teach you another solid close. So this is called not done close. This is how you do it. It's like all the techniques. And then you go back and apply. It doesn't work. So what do? You go to another course. I'm going to teach you another close. This is called Fantastical 5 close. It works. Okay, I apply this. It doesn't work for me. So your circle is always going for one course after one course after one course. You're always chasing for another course that gives you that divine tool that will make you millions of dollars. Okay, how many of you can relate to that? Thank you. So the point is that sales is not about numbers. Sales is not about just technique. Sales is about people. In fact, I'm not going to use this slide because I'm already in the zone. So I want to make a distinction that I actually can do this without the slides. That's how good I am. Okay, so I'm not going to use these slides. And although I spend a lot of time doing these slides, but you know what? At the end of the day, I just find that this talk is a lot more amazing. So people ask me, how do I apply this in my business? So this is my social proof. That was a picture, that was a video that I took in, let me recall, sometimes in April.
Hi, Jack here, and I'm now in Bishan, and in the moment, in about 15 minutes time, I'm going to meet the CEO of one real estate agents group. And this meeting has been fixed for 2 weeks already, and in the last few days, I was thinking to myself as to how and what I need to prepare, because I'm meeting the CEO, the big shot of the company, what should I bring? So I would like to show you something which might be very useful.
So the video is a bit poorly recorded because of the noise around. So what happened is that I am about to meet a CEO of a real estate agency, and I haven't met him before. I don't even have time to call him. So being honest with you, I cannot assume. Therefore, I actually, in my bag, which I'm going to show you, things that I've already prepared in advance, just to tackle different situations. So you can see what I've done.
I want you to see. Okay, so I want to show you the map. As you can see here, so you can see that actually we brought copies of my book. Reason so that this is to help you build the authority.
Why a book is important? No, blueprint, authority. I always ask people this question: if you are in a networking meeting, if you are getting a card from someone, what do you do with the card? Throw away. How many of you honestly will keep that? Wendy, I've just found out that she will keep track. That is exceptional. But how many of you realize that if your card is actually a book, how many of you actually have thrown a book away in your life? You may just put in the shelf, but you don't throw it away. And how are you perceived as an author? It makes a difference. So I actually coach people how to write a book. Because all of you need a book. And we have few authors in this room, so give them a hand. Congratulations, our authors. You know who you are. Okay, thank you. So to me, it's very important to have a book. It's because you will attract people who blueprint as a primary color.
Authority as a subject matter expert, because you need a book rather than just a business card to lack credibility at times, especially if the person is a blueprint. He wants trust and credibility, so this is important. And I bought my kids, so I've got my kids my brochure. So in case the person is in knowledge, and what happens is that I'm able to show the person some write-up and for the person to go back and for his homework. So that is to tackle the cake. And I've got some very interesting thing, the laptop. So in this laptop, I've actually downloaded 3 videos, which are all results based on results.
In case you can't hear this part, I've actually got three videos, which are all result driven. Because I'm part of the team who help many people in the sales training program to make 10, even 20, $30 million in 10 minutes. You can't believe it until you experience it. Okay, so that is what we promise. So what happened is that I actually have 3 videos there, and I don't know which 2 I will be able to use because I don't know him. So what happened is that I'll just fast forward. I asked him, Wesker, need your help. No, don't worry, you just stand up. Later, you will teach your partner. Listen. Okay? I have done this already 2 times this morning. This is my 3rd time today. Okay? There are 4 cards here. See 4 cards, huh? Okay, 4 cards. Okay? So there's information at the back. I would like you to do me a favor. Sort these cards out, the most important on top to the order, so that the most important on top to the least important at the bottom. That helps us serve you better and save our time. Can you shut up? So you just patient, don't say anything, don't suggest anything. If he has question, you just say, follow my instruction, sort out the card. Does anyone time it? Like check how long does it take? Okay. About 70 seconds. Have we been delivering our promise? Thank you, have a seat. Have we been delivering a promise that can crack a person's code in 90 seconds or less? This is about 17 minutes. Oh, sorry, seconds. I said minutes, my bad. No, she's not. So can I just check that this is your order?
Yeah.
Not this order, right?
No.
Okay, good. So I'm not going to tell you what it is about, but using the same technique, I asked this person, if you know him, don't say anything. If you don't know him, just think about he's the CEO of the company. Okay? So what happened is that I asked him to sort this card using the same tool, same exercise. In 40 seconds, he gave me one of these cards. To respect his confidentiality, I'm not going to review his code, but that's to give him respect. But he gave me the same result like what Wesker has done. So immediately, what I did was, I turned on my laptop. I said, I want you to watch this video. I'm not going to talk about what it is. Just watch the video and tell me how you feel. 1 minute later, tell me more about it. I'm sold. That is the CEO of the company. Now imagine if you have not got this tool, you are just trying your luck. And because my primary color, some of you know, this is my primary color. I'm very transparent here. This is how you can sell me. Because you can't sell me anyway. I will sell myself, I will close myself. So don't worry, that's why I'm very transparent. So if I'm using this, hey, you know what? I'm very passionate about doing this sales training for your company. Hey, these toolkits are very nice. You have a lot of description. And by the way, there's a white paper at the back. You can actually enjoy it because there are 37 pages of our statistical research, our scientific data that helps you explain what exactly our training is about. Do you think the CEO will say, come on, shut up, don't want to listen to you? Because you are pitching the wrong person. Or we are pitching the right person, but imagine you are not speaking the language. So what I'm saying is that you could have one defined opportunity, like this is the dream of going to the CEO. Is that most of the time, imagine you are going for a corporate training, you get your HR manager, your training manager, all are guarding the door before you can even go to the decision maker. And I'm given a chance to go straight to the CEO. That is like rare. It's very, very rare. So I've got only one opportunity. If I don't master this tool, I will make mistake. In fact, if I am just going by chance, I will have 3 out of 4 chances fail. Maybe just 4 colors here, 4 codes here. If I am going by just one code and ignore the 3, my chances of success is 25%. So this is why I love this tool, and I'm showing you proof that I'm using this tool in my business. Okay? So are you concerned with lead generation? So the survey that I asked some of you to do is basically like this. For those who didn't see my email, I'm actually asking you this question. What is your #1 challenge in your business? Is it lead gen? Right? Lead gen. Is it sales presentation? Crafting the persuasive sales presentation? Or is it about closing? How many of you have any other issue in your business? So these 3 are very common, but the solution that we propose to you is that it's not about lead generation, it's not about closing, it's not about sales presentation. What is the universal problem? The universal problem is interaction with people. And which is why I'm very passionate about imparting these skills to impact as many entrepreneurs as possible. Not because I got certified and I can train, I can make money from this. I mean, honestly, do you know how much I spend for this room? $400. Do you know my Facebook advertising cost? Almost $1,500. I'm telling you, these are my numbers. If you think that I'm making money from you today, sorry, the trainers, front end never make money. This is always the case. I mean, trainers, any trainers here, you know that front end doesn't make money. It's always the back end. So what if you have a tool that allows you to be able to increase the sales by up to 300%? What if this tool is so easy to use? Just now I've demonstrated in front of Wesker how I apply this. You may ask, of course, Jet, you have been doing it for long. Later, I'll use one of our case study to demonstrate how easy it can be done. So I can prove to you that it is easy to do. Even you may be new to it, you can do it. Okay? So Robert Kiyosaki says that the ability to sell is the #1 skills for all of us. It's not #2, it's not #3, but #1. Unfortunately, in the traditional education system, nobody taught us how to sell. I thought I know how to sell because in my accounting firm practice, in my tax firm practice, I was able to close clients. I didn't realize that I was closing always the same kind of client. No wonder I can sell. And if you go to visit all the accounting firms' CV, they always will tell you their history, not mystery, but history about I have already practiced tax for 20 years. I've worked from this firm, this firm, this firm, and I've served this client, that client, that client. And this is my skill set, and I've been able to help a lot of clients on this and that and that. So what is the kind of CV that you're looking at? A BK CV. It's always a BK CV. That's why you cannot close the AN. Their CV is always professional. Their CV is always about the mastery. So people who belong to this category can be so. I was this and that. So no wonder I can be close. And I can close clients with similar personality group. But when I step out of the corporate world and I started doing this on my own, I have a problem. The problem is that how come my closing ratio is not as good as before? I didn't know this tool. I didn't know that there is this tool available in the market. So in 2013, when the founder came to Singapore, and by the way, it's not 2013, I messed up, it's 2012 when the founder came to Singapore, I don't even think about it, I just attended the 2 days training. And by the way, the friend of mine actually got me a ticket in Malaysia, so I did my first training in Malaysia. What happened then was that the bank, please keep it in your room. Keep this in this room because I want to be very transparent. I'm not giving you I'm not hiding anything. We have a problem in 2013. When we have done I belong to the first batch of certified trainer. But I wasn't been fulfilled by Sherry. To a certain extent, because of the company structure then, they didn't know what they want. They didn't give us a proper business model. So in 3 years, they were absent. So one of you actually asked me yesterday or the day before this question: why have we disappeared for a while? It's not that we disappeared for a while. It's just that because under the new model, we are being certified under the new model. So this new model allows us to train this way. So that's why we only show up in the public page recently. But if you ask me, have I been using this for a long time? Yes, I do. I've been using this for a very, very long time. It's just that I cannot really train, I cannot even speak about that. So finally, last year, September, I got certified under this model, and that's why I have been doing this. This is my second preview. Last preview I did was September. Some of you asked me, do I do it again? I have no plans. I'm a consultant. I hate to train. I don't like training. It's actually occupying my time. So for me, I have no plans of running another training. I'm not running another preview. This one plus 7 p.m. will be my last two for the first half of the year for sure. So people ask, what are the numbers that are very important to know? The numbers you see is that 67% of the salespeople actually miss quota. And then you have got 87% of the sales professionals are not prepared for their presentation. And 66% of the customers were turned off by the sales presentations of the professionals. That shows one thing. The one who is presenting not prepared properly. The one who is presenting turned the prospect off. So what's the problem? Why would the customers be turned off? Is it because the sales presentation sucks? I don't think so. Is it because the salespeople don't know how to sell? Probably. But the first thing that I ask you is that, as sales professionals, have I found your lingo? Have I spoken in your lingo? Have I been able to communicate and connect with you? That is why these people are turned off. Imagine you have a tool that allows you to be able to get a yes. But the fact is that in the traditional school, or in those good old days when you do sales, the thing is that you have been told that sales is a numbers game. So your job is to get quota. Your job is to get yeses from clients. But is it true that your trainers or your sales masters have ever told you in order to get more yeses, you have to get more what? No. So therefore, it sounds wrong. Because by right, it should be, in order to get more yeses, there should be more yeses. So this tool is allowing us, not just you, but me, I'm speaking for myself too, is to allow me and you to be able to get more yeses by having more yeses. That is the whole point. And imagine you have got a data from the Word of Mouth Marketing Association, which says that the good quality, the highly skilled professionals in sales actually outcast or outrated 57 times than a normal person. So the statistic is such that 57 times better than us. Does it mean that they work 57 times more hours? Does it mean that they generate 57 times more leads? Does it mean that they see 57 times more people? Or have they got more 57 times of more no? Honestly, of course not. Because we are 24 hours a day. So imagine, remember my story of the CEO meeting? I've got one opportunity, just one time. If I make it, I make it. If I do not make it, that's it. So the question is, what's the secret? The secret of bank is that sales is not a people's, the sales is not a numbers game. Sales is what? Sales is actually a people game. It's about interaction with human beings. The point is that it's not about learning another skill, learning another closing technique, or learn how to train properly. It's about how you connect with the people. How do you interact with them? It's a people's game. So ask yourself, have you been connecting with people at the appropriate level? Ask yourself, have you been doing the job properly? Or are you just trying to sell something for the sake of the money? I've got people, I don't know whether she turns up today. She actually posted a question on my Facebook page. Are you trying to sell me something? I'm not selling you. I said, if you are worried about selling you something, leave your wallet and credit card behind. I'm not selling you anything. Because I am asking you to pick these skills up. If you truly believe these skills is useful and you want to learn more, you invest. We don't like to be sold, but we want people to buy from us. I want you to get this mindset. If you are afraid to sell something, or you are afraid that people are selling you, my question for you is this: are you in sales? Are you in love of sales? If you don't enjoy the sales process, and you are very concerned people are selling you something all the time, then I think you need to first of all have to change your mindset about selling. Because you might have been scammed. How many of you honestly in the past that you have been scammed by other people? Everyone should raise hand. Everyone should raise hand. Be honest with yourself. True? I'm scammed by other people. I lost $45,000 in one deal. 45, no kidding. Unscrupulous. How many of you really seriously don't want to work with these people anymore if they have scammed you? Honestly? So the point is that I don't want to be scammed. That's why I'd rather give you this tool right now. At least, even though you decide not to invest, even though you say, okay, I think I've got enough, that's fine, no problem. Have no hard feeling. I'm doing this just to make sure that I have done my part to change your life. Okay? So that is my message. I'm not here selling you anything. I'm just selling you one idea. The idea is go back, relook the way you operate, relook the way you present, relook the way you introduce yourself, and think about how you can make use of this idea to change your life, change your business. That's the whole point. Okay, so Brian Tracy says, all business is people business. So I want you to understand the secret. So what if there's one idea that can potentially change the world, that is able to drive the world to a different, a better place, that helps a lot of people? What language have I just spoken? So that everybody will win. What if the system is so easy to use that even a child can master? I'm speaking 4 languages. And by the way, I've got the scripts here. These are the scripts. I'm not going to read the scripts. Because if I read the script, what happens? Trainers, if I read the script, what happens? I lose you. So rather use what I know in this and connect with you and talk to you. What is bank? Some people ask, what is bank? Bank is not the bank that we know about the money in the bank, or it's not an organization that takes our money and run away. And by the way, some of you may be concerned about the financial crisis. Some of you may be concerned that our system is going to lock our money because there is a global virus right now. That certain banks in the world, when the virus affects them, your money will be locked. Your money will not be able to take out. So you really need to understand this. I went to a talk on Sunday, and the trainer actually said there's this global virus that one day you may not even take your money out because the bank will lock you. So you need to think about how to have the cash. It's going to be a crazy moment. So BANG is actually an acronym, as by now you know, it's an acronym which stands for Blueprint, Action, Nurturing, and Knowledge. It's about people related, because in BANG we always believe that it's about people, because business is about people business. It's actually based on a system of 4 personalities. So later we'll talk about these 4 personalities, and it is profit driven initially, but now it's not just profit driven, it's non-profit driven, because we talk about relationship. Okay, so this is how interesting this tool is. So founder Sherry Tree, she has also got the 4 descriptions. Okay, you see that this is how we introduce ourselves. You may want to take a picture if you want to. Go ahead and take a picture. Just because these slides are proprietary, it doesn't mean that you cannot take it. Because you can search the internet and get the same picture, correct? Yeah, see? So why would I prevent you from taking pictures? So to deal with the blueprint, if I'm not transparent, I will lose them. Huh? Yes. See, I'm always taking care of 4 groups of people. Okay, so Sherry started off with this story, and I'm not going to share with you this story because if you're interested, the story is actually in bankcode.com. Okay, so go and check out bankcode.com. But the story is that BANG is unlike other personality profiling tools. Your question, how many of you have done any personality assessment before? Okay, good, thank you. How many of you are master of MBTI? Don't know. Okay, this group is very interesting. A lot of you actually have said you have done DISC. DISC? D-I-S-C? This, okay. How many of you have done Enneagram? Okay, not popular, okay. So, give you my qualification. I'm a certified trainer in MBTI, DISC, and Enneagram. So I can't bluff you. First of all, I state my qualification and mastery. MBTI, DISC on one hand, and BANG on the other hand. People ask, are they the same? They are the same, but they are different. These are trademark. They are the same, they are different. Why? Because imagine you have a talk. You have an appointment. Let's say I'm meeting at Wesker. I know we are able to, if the deal is successful, I can close $1 million deals with Wesker. But I don't know his code. So I don't know this tool. I just go to Wesker and say, Wesker, before we start our conversation, here is the MBTI questionnaire. And MBTI questionnaire, by the way, is 93 questions. So please fill it in so that I can analyze and I'll come back to you. Does it make sense? Is it possible? Yes, it's possible, but will you do it? No way. So the first thing that we know about all these personality tools is it's all about discovering ourselves. BANG, discovering ourselves too. That's why I asked you to do your BANG pass. You can sort the card online. Like I see that you're sorting your card. So basically you can sort your BANG code online. But most importantly, it's not about you, it's about your prospect. What is the code, what is the BANG code of your prospect? And that's why we say we have designed this tool that is simple to use, and I can just ask, I have never failed. Like CEO of a real estate agency, I asked him to sort the card, he just look and sort out. So I have never failed on this. I mean, the thing is that it's easy to use. So that way, it allows me to be able to crack the code of the person. So imagine, I now know that, let's say I use another color. This is you, just imagine this is you, okay? Hey Wesker, I've got a good idea for you.
Oh really?
No, you sit down, you listen, don't be so excited. So Wesker, I've got an idea for you. Today, my proposition to you is about tax. Doing tax is actually very good. It's actually life-changing. And do you think that he will be interested? No, he is not, because to me it's like, Wesker, to do tax, if you do well, you can make $1 million. Because if the person happens to have this card, the profile is this one, you actually have to speak the language. Wow, you know what, Wesker? If I am telling you that tax is a simple process, you just follow step by step by step. Come on, can you tell me in one line what do you want to know? No way, because you are speaking the wrong lingo. Just like this lady this morning. This morning I asked her to sort out the card. So I asked the same question. And her card is this. I forgot to capture the video, so apologies. I don't want to offend her also, so I didn't capture the video, but can I just repeat what I've said to her? So this is the story about, I have a proposal for you, that tax is very simple to learn. Because what I'm teaching in tax is a very simple process. I'm giving a template that allows you to answer question one after one after one, and it's all within the structure, and you can't fail. Because if you fail, I will fail too. Because I have already changed lives of many professionals, using this template have helped them save a lot of taxes. Have I been using the blueprint language to say, oh my God, yeah, I want that. So you have to understand, it is about mastery of a language. It's not about knowing this tool for the sake of knowing it. It's about mastering the knowledge. Okay? So I hate to use this slide, by the way, because if you know my background, I'm not a PowerPoint person. That's why I don't really follow the slides, although I spend a lot of time looking at the slides. Okay, so what Sherry has talked about is that when she discovered this tool, when she reverse engineering the process and come to the bank code, and she was asked to speak around the world, I mean, honestly, this is what she has done. She has spoken on stage of Richard Branson, Robert Kiyosaki, and then she spoke in university, Harvard, UC Berkeley, and in 2016. Another question for you is that I know there are people who actually steal our product. I'm very frank, and we know these people. They steal the methodology behind. And they said, we do our own 4 colors. And they said, we can train people also. Trainers, ask you a question. Don't steal things from other people. You have to be ethical. I'm closing the ends. You have to be ethical. You have to follow the rules. You know that you cannot have quick fix. And you have to take time to master the skill. The whole idea is that we know there are people out there training 4 colors. In fact, one competitor, who is happening to be my friend, by the way, unfortunately, they started off with 16 colors, and they saw bang, they say 4 colors looks cool. So they decided to string it down to 4 colors. What makes us different from them is they can't answer this question. They can't answer a question that Kate is always looking for. Is there a scientific proof that your system works? Is it true that your system is able to predict biased behavior with precision and accuracy? San Francisco University, or State University of San Francisco in 2016, under Dr. Ryan Howell, he came up with a 37-page report, what we call the white paper. And in the white paper, it says that Bang methodology has accurately predicted the biased behavior. So we got this proof. They don't. That's why I like to use the K answer to these people. Say, you don't have the proof. I have the proof.
So this is proof, right?
This is proof, but white paper, the Ks are very interested in white paper. Honestly, in this room, how many of you would want to read the 37-page? That's what I see in my profile, because I don't see a lot of Ks in the room. That's why I don't talk about it. But if you need proof, that is the proof. The white paper is there. If you want to download it, let me know, I'll give you the download link. You can see the white paper. So Albert Einstein says, human beings are like to complicate stories. and make it so complicated. So therefore, you need the genius to simplify it. And that's why we can go through all the complexity of other personality tools. And at the end of the day, we go back to the basic. I teach tax. I like to brand my courses as advanced income tax, advanced GST. And somehow you attract people to come to the room. And I say, oh my God, how many of you are actually here learning advanced thing? Wow, all hands raised. And you know what happened? The advance is going back to the basic. Because you guys have already been in the complex mode for a long time. It's so difficult for you to unlock the simplicity and answer these questions step by step. So after 2 days, they all realized, I couldn't believe that tax is so simple. It's because tax is supposed to be a simple subject. It's just people make it so complicated. Okay? So Sherry actually discovered that because of this tool is so powerful, and it's no longer just asking, it's no longer just discover ourselves, it's discover other people. So let's talk about this 4 profiling, this personality. History of bank is based on 4 personality, and we call them the 4 temperament. And this 4 temperament, actually history is based on this guy, this Greek physician called Hippocrates, okay, who is the founder of the 4 temperaments in medical practice. So what happened is that we have already said that a lot of you have done personality assessment, so I'm not going to that. In fact, I jumped the slide. I've already done this slide without going to the slide, so I'm going to skip that. The missing link is that we are so focusing on ourselves. Whereas in sales, in relationship, we should focus on the other person. Okay? So therefore, when we say we crack the personality code and take it to the bank, we literally mean crack the person's code. We literally get the code from the other guy. Okay? And our tagline is take it to the bank. Sounds good, right? Because it's the A thing. Cool. Okay? So the metaphor is Da Vinci Code. How many of you have watched this movie Da Vinci Code before? Tom Hanks. So basically, if you remember, there's a Holy Grail secret. Okay, so Holy Grail secret is like there's a written script of scroll of the Holy Grail. If you do not open this properly, the vial of vinegar will melt the holy secret, and the secret is gone forever. Okay, so you need to crack the code in the precise order to get the Holy Grail. Okay, so the thing is that imagine you have got a Holy Grail secret, and let me see whether I can get it from my Doraemon bag. This is called Doraemon bag because a lot of things that I need happens to be here. It's here. Imagine this is Holy Grail. I hope that piece of paper is still there. Yeah, it's there. This is actually your prospects Holy Grail. And you can just see that and start communicating that way. How many of you would like to have this secret honestly? Honestly, okay? So the whole point is that, yeah, I want that too. And do you know why for those who have been to bank training before, do you know why I avoid cryptex and cryptology? Because I don't have K in the room. I purposely removed that so that I don't speak technical and lost the group. Because in this room, I understand there are lots of A's, a lot of N's. If I say, oh, this is called cryptex, which stands for cryptology, and the other one I cannot remember, then you know what happened? They will be turned off. So I avoid using the technical jargon. Okay, so although it's part of our lingo, I don't use that. Okay, so Tony Robbins said, let your prospect determine your presentation. So I'm standing in the room right now, and I say, today I want to give you an idea about tax. Tax is a very technical subject, but you know what? When you master this, you make a lot of money. Imagine you make a lot of money, you can help a lot of people that you couldn't help before, but with the money right now you have in your pocket, you can actually change the world. It's technical subject, but I can simplify for you so that I can deconstruct the template step by step so that you can answer your client, you can answer these questions. If I can answer, you can answer too. It's always within the frame step by step. And it's so cool because everybody is no longer a loser. This world, everyone is a winner. Everyone becomes best of the best in this world. How many of you would love to learn tests? I've spoken 4 languages. It's instant demonstration. I'm different from other trainers. I'm telling you that I'm using it all the time. So give me a subject matter. I mean, dialing you now. Come on, give me a subject matter. Anything. Health. Adeline. Health. Give me a proposition. What do you want me to say? Give me a proposition. Okay, thank you. How many of you realize that this world is in trouble right now? How many of you realize that health is important to you? Because the things that you put in, the things that you stuff inside, could potentially shorten your life. So how many of you have a family? Like how many of you have family? Come on, hello, wake up please. How many of you love your family a lot? So imagine if you don't take care of your health, you will potentially lose your life and your family will no longer be depending on you. And how does it make you feel? Health science is something everybody can master. It's not like a textbook, it is dynamic. Everybody can be subject matter expert. And in fact, if Adeline can share with us her system, step by step, lead from A to C, and tell you what to eat, how to eat every single day. What if this is the solution? What if this solution helps you, helps your family, and potentially help the world? Because you know why? You now have the energy and vitality. You are able to energize yourself so that you have more life, more energy to help more people. Imagine this is the moment. This moment is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity for you to invest. If you embrace the opportunity, go to see Adeline. Thank you. And then you say, oh my God, you standard work, you can do the same thing too. We are trained by the same mentor. So the thing is that even though a topic that I don't really know much, compared to Adeline, I'm just playing with the languages. Speak like I'm the expert. But honestly, I do. There's something that I also know because I'm on carb-free eating plan. I don't eat carbs. Oh, sorry, I minimize it. I cannot say I cannot eat. Singapore is a place that you cannot cut away carbs, unfortunately. Okay, so the thing is that let your prospect determine. So the challenge for a lot of trainers is that you are speaking a topic that you think you know the best, but your audiences don't know. So what do? You've got to speak the 4 languages at the same time to enroll them. Because at a certain point in time, if the person is a nurturing, what happened? The nurturing say, help the family, wow, wake up already. And suddenly you say, wow, there's a template, wow, the blueprint will wake up already. And then you become the best of the best one. Actually, wow, okay, I love the idea too. So if you can present your ideas using 4 languages at the same time, you are actually doing far more better than other trainers who only speak 1 lingo. Okay? So if you are able to deliver your standard script, you will only close 25% because it's 1 out of 4. Sad truth is that it means you are not able to close the other 3 groups. And that means 75%. And imagine that 75% of the people that you want to enroll go to Norman side and enroll their course. Painful, right? Suddenly I lose money because they go to Norman. Don't tell Norman, just using that as a demo. So what if you are able to have 4 presentations? Because if you are closing one-on-one, you need 4 presentations. Because you're doing one-on-one, you need to think about 4 presentations. How many of you have 4 presentations? And how many of you honestly have only 1? Some of you who are trained, you should have more than 1. But anyone has 4? Interesting. How many of you are speaking in front of the room most of the time? If you do, then you need one presentation in 4 languages. Have I demonstrated to you that I'm using this all the time in this session? Okay, good. I've done my job. So Sherry's formula, opportunity cost. She started off with $72,000, and because she knew only one presentation and lose the other 3, so if she mastered the other 3 presentations, the math says that she will earn a potential extra income of $260,000 a year. So imagine Sherry is able to do this for 20 years. That means $4.3 million in the pocket. So imagine you don't have this skill. You're actually losing $4.3 million in your pocket because this money goes to your competitors. Because the nurturing people will buy from the nurturing people. If you are not nurturing, if you don't master the nurturing script, they will go to the nurturing guy and buy. If you are not an action person, like I am not an action person, my A is super low. But in front of their group, the group that Emma and I are in common, I'm a very A person. I'm super A. Because I'm a change A. I'm not a natural A, but I'm a change A. It's just like an introvert and extrovert. I'm a natural introvert, but I can be very extrovert if I choose to. So it is possible for you to do the same. If you think that you're not knowledge because you are not technical person, you are not a lifelong learner, you can fake to be like one. It can be done. But honestly, it is tough. So you may need a master to help you on this. Okay? So the thing is that if you can master the science and in communication, negotiation, in sales, you can actually closing more sales. So how do I get 300%? So if you are speaking, if you are a blueprint, if you can master the script of action, your sales should be doubled because now you can close the action. If you can master the nurturing script, what happens is that you can double your sales. And if you can master all 4 languages, it becomes triple your sales. That's why our tagline is that we can supercharge, help our clients to supercharge their sales by up to 300%. You notice the caveat, the disclaimer, by up to. We never say by 300%, up to. It makes a difference. So that is actually a logical proof. It's not a number that we make up. It's because when we are able to master all 4 languages, logically speaking, it is up to 300%. But is your result honestly always triple? No, we don't mean that. When we say 300%, we mean that you have the ability to speak the 4 linguals at different point in time. Your ability to close, to negotiate, to influence the person that you have not been able to persuade. Your ability to close the person, regardless of what technique you use. In fact, Sunday, there was a speaker in the National Achievers Congress. He doesn't know how to sell. He doesn't know what to say. He just uses down-to-earth approach to convince us with facts, statistics, and pattern. He killed the room. He killed the room. And I deconstruct the pitch with my friends, and they say, no wonder he used 3 languages. 1, 2, 3. He started off with his presentation by saying that I have a mission in my life. I want to help lots of people. And by the way, I want you to be successful. I want you to make your money, so you will donate $100 to the charity. And I'm going to impart my systems to you. It is so simple that it only takes you 60 seconds to master this. Not even more than that, it's just 60 seconds. And once you master these skills, you continue your education, you can whack the market like nobody else. This is the short, the summary of his presentation, which I've deconstructed. The only thing that's missing is A. So my friend who is an A says, I feel turned off with his presentation. Yeah lah, because he's not an A ma. Of course lah. The person doesn't dress like an A. He's formal dress, down-to-earth guy, blue tie, blue tee, blue jackets. Confirm is a blueprint one. Confirm, right? And he likes to carry his book like professor. Of course, I can tell. So that's why sometimes when the way you dress, the way you present yourself can be judged. It's not about being judged, it's that I would look at how you dress, what you dress, and decide for me, from my perspective, my understanding, whether you potentially will be one of them. It's that the way Wesker dressed, can you tell me that he has a very high chance that he can never be a blueprint? Because blueprint will never dress this way.
Luxury. Same color.
Yeah. So there's a reason why he dresses this way. And do you know why I dress this way? It's because I purposely confuse you. Because you cannot read me. But I will decide, I'm telling you that I'm this one. Why? Because I want to give you some flavor. That if you know the language, you can master it again, start decode. And every day you decode people, you can find the fun if you are me. I just love to decode people and just find the fun out of it. Okay? So what is the system? The system is basically the four language that we are talking about. The whole idea is that blueprint, we look at values. It's not something that we say, oh, the values being values would they. The common question is really whether your color, your code, your primary code will change. So the answer is potentially yes, because it is values driven. What is value? What is value? Value is something that you are that guides you to do what you have to do every day. Okay, what is your drive in your life? So if you are a blueprint, then these sets of values are there. In our continuing education system, of course, we explain in detail what these values are and how you can master this. Because this morning, I was talking to the second girl who is this color, who is knowledge. And I asked you, what did I start? I asked her the question, do you like to study? I got wrong question already, never mind. Never give up. Ask yourself, ask again. Do you like to master some technical subject? Not really. But you're telling me this. Are you a lifelong learner? Yeah, of course. Oh, okay, I got it. Okay, so it's about asking the right questions to confirm that. Because sometimes values can be very subjective. And therefore, even though it presents to you a knowledge, and you start asking the first few questions, it doesn't sound like a knowledge. Never mind, there must be clues around. So therefore, you look at this set of values, and then you ask different questions. Perhaps you'll be getting the answer that you need to. Like blueprint, we say, it's always about track record. It's always about credentials. It's always about proof. That's why later I'll give you some proof to demonstrate the blueprint is important. Talking about the greeting, I can't help but laugh at the girl that is a blueprint this morning. So I finished my training. This is a real life example. That's why I like the real life example more than anything else. And she said, thank you very much. Thank you for having us today. Thank you for presenting such a great session. And she did it. Goodbye. I say, no wonder. I say, do you notice that you did that? It's a very formal. I say, you notice your DI hand is at the back, like that? Oh, yeah, correct. Because I have been training that, I've been trained that way. No, it's not you have been trained that way. This is because you are who you are. So blueprints like formal. So if you are meeting blueprint, if you know the person is a blueprint, dress well, dress to impress, works for blueprint. I'm not going to show you this testimonial for the sake of showing this, but I just want you to listen to what they say. I see whether I can turn on this so that you are able to see. I've got another 40 minutes. This session is going to end at 4:30, so I still have time.
Phoenix, Arizona. I am a financial advisor and I own my own financial planning firm. I've been in the business for about 20 years and I've been a top producer most of those years. During that time, I've always looked for opportunities to make myself better, make my firm better, and be able to help more people. Until I met Sherry Tree and learned about the bank system, I think most of the programs that I learned were marginally helpful and increased sales, from time to time. But over the last 6 months, since I have learned about the bank system, I realized it is the most simple to learn, the most easy to implement system that has to do with sales that I've ever learned about. And in fact, when I took it back to the office and started implementing it, my sales went from a typical about 30 to 40% closing rate to closing the next 8 appointments that I had. I am definitely a believer in the bank system. I know it works. It's worked for me. It's helped my firm, my family, and not to mention just those people that it's helped. It's also helped a lot more people get the services that I think are appropriate and that they really need. What excites me even more about the bank program and the bank system is that I can also be a banker and be part of the system that helps distribute this message to other people in my industry and other people in the sales profession. I know that as it has helped me and my firm do a lot better in our business, I know that I'll be a part of a movement that's actually a global phenomenon that's going to help a lot of other people take it to the bank.
Do you know his code? By reading this, by listening to what he said?
Action and maturity.
No. It's actually very blueprint. Why? Because it's financial advisor. That is the clue. What jobs you land in has some part to do with your code. Financial advisor. And he says, I like the system which is so simple, so easy to use. He doesn't like complicated stuff. He's not a king. He mentioned one time he's so cool, I can change the world. He also said a few times, at least 10 times of the word help. So what I want you to get is, by listening to a presentation, you can start coding the person and see what this person's code is. If you can master this, you are invincible. You are unstoppable. That's why I love this kind of presentation where he gives a testimonial. So what if a testimonial here talking about bank useful? Do you believe it seriously? Do you believe that? I'm flashing a testimonial not because I'm showing you the proof only, I'm showing you how to make use of them without any problem. Let's look at action. Action is, on the other hand, the cool guy, the very red, cool, hot person. Why? Because this is the values. The point about action is that if there's an opportunity, they will be first. They will jump in first. And they like to speak. They like to impress people. They like to talk, and talk, until they still talk. Yeah. That's why sometimes you have to understand this is how they operate. If you are not action, you can understand the frustration we have sometimes. But you just have to let them talk, until they have no energy, they will still talk. Okay? They like to have this opportunity to shine. So let them shine. That's why you have heard my presentation earlier, I hate training, I rather let people shine. You know what I'm talking about? The ailer. Let them shine, they want to shine, let them shine. I'm the guy behind the scene. So in terms of the reading, you don't give a handshake to an action person. It doesn't work. And my ex-coach, in the past, my ex-coach, yeah, so cool. It's like that. I don't know what it is, so I asked, what is this? This bump. Okay, thank you. I don't honestly know this. It's my coach, my ex-coach taught me. So if you see a person who would like to do this, that is a sign that he is an action. I'm not saying that he is an action, that is a sign that he is an action. Look at how he dressed. Always look for the red shoes, red bag, cool dressing, maybe a shirt with short pants, and then put a jacket which is red color. Our speaker on Sunday, our good friend, dressed so nice, shiny jacket, pink tie. It's an A. You can tell because the way you dress, I can tell somehow which colors or which code you are in. So this is an A's testimonial. Again, it's just telling you that she made 250,000. Now for the blueprint, you won't believe this because there's no proof. But I just want you to listen to what she said.
Sharing Tree is amazing. When I was just 25 years old, I met her. And because of her one-on-one mentoring, she helped me make $250,000. My life transformed. And because of her knowledge and her expertise in her field, she helped me build a world-class company. I would not be here today if it wasn't for Sherry's loving heart, her fun personality, and her system that she's so valuable and invested in creating.
Yeah, her name is unequivocally is a real name according to Sherry. It is a real name. But you look at the energy that she has. Is it a lot more lively than Jeff Wogan? Yeah. Jeff is very cool guy, very formal. He's like, yeah, I love Sherry, it's fun. That is the style that you can tell. A fun person. A is always a fun person to work with. You want fun, A is always here to help you find the fun. But if you're not a funny person, don't act like you are fun. You have fun. You always love to have the A's to be in the game to help you because they are the fun creator. But what happened for the A's is that they will just go off tangent. And for us who are blueprint, hey, can you please come back? You go off tangent already. Because we like the structure. Like the structure about blueprint is that we always live in the box. Like they always love to live outside the box. They always go off tangent. So our job is to help them to come back to the box, please. Okay? The next one is, this one is an email, which is one of our good friends sent to me. I'm sure you get the email too, because it's the same email. And the email is about, hey Jack, hey, action. Because for blueprint, dear Mr. Wong. Hey Jack, I want to find people, blah blah blah. Okay, now whoever is already starting way in advance to create the best transformational learning, blah blah blah. Sounds good? K, these are all A language. Right? The A's, do you resonate with that? You might have intentionally used that without knowing, oh, this is actually A's language. So by even reading an email, I can quote the person. Interesting. So if you are doing all your Facebook marketing or your copywriting, you need to think about, have you been using one language? So he requires some training on bank. He couldn't come today, I asked him to come. Because I've been framing the need to have bank. Otherwise, what is that? It's all A. And see, last but not least, help us, help you. This is an N because his profile is AN. Slightly smiling face. It's an A thing. So by reading email, you can tell the personality if you can master the skills. So let's talk about the N. When it comes to the N, the scenario is always very slow because it's speaking from the heart. I'm not going to do that, otherwise you will fall asleep. Okay, so understand that, and people, money is not important. I change life more important than making money. That's why they love to do charity work. Okay, so values of the N. And the key thing is living in harmony, no conflict. You don't ever tell them things that are not ethical. They will be the first person to turn off. They will always ensure there's no conflict. What they do sometimes, they won't be the one resolving the conflict. They will be the one avoiding the conflict. They just don't like conflicts. And most importantly, like if you've been to MMI, there are 4 different types of money personality. There's a personality called Money Monk. Money Monk is N. Because our mission is money is not important. What? Money is not important? You crazy? Yeah, money is not important. That's why I cannot tahan some eggs. I say, money is not important. You just see me. What do you eat? What do you drink? Sorry lah, my egg is super low. I can't understand. So then I take a deep breath. Okay. Okay? So in terms of greeting, my aunts love to do this. Give me a hug. My son, Daddy, give me a hug. Why not? You don't love me. I just need a hug. 5 seconds, okay. No, 3 seconds. And I hug him that way. So. Sorry, love. Look at the way we hug.
Okay.
See the distance? But a true hugger. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
So this is the true hugger. Otherwise, yeah. So, and loves body connection, human touch. So Nanny Gomez is a network marketer. She uses the band system to help people, but she said one thing to Sherry. She said that I don't want this system to be a scam because I hate to be scammed. I must find that you must make sure that this is a legit game plan that allows me to invest so that I can help my team, help other people. So this is what Nanny said.
Hello, I'm Nani Gomes from Milani, Hawaii, and I was a struggling network marketer for many years, and I needed a breakthrough. And what bank has done for me has been amazing. In fact, within 6 months, knowing the bank system, I created a 6-figure income. And it's just amazing how it's changed so many lives in my life. Bringing back to Hawaii is so important to me because I want to change the lives of the people. Especially those entrepreneurs, network marketers who struggle in this industry. And if I can do it, you can do it. And we can crack the personality code and take it to the bank together.
It's very obvious, Anne, right? I want to change lives of people. I want to help these people. And she's speaking only one lingo. And do you see that before you came in, compared to right now you're here, have you learned something? Have you been able to detect something? Like I haven't really taught you anything, but the thing I want you to do is that you started to pick up something, which is the key. To me, that is a good step to start. Okay, now finally to my favorite. But please do not sleep up. I know that this part is going to be very technical because we, the subject matter expert, we just love to talk about the scientific data, the research that we have, the 37-page of white paper. And we love numbers, we love statistics. Because they say facts tell, stories sells. We don't believe that. We believe that facts always sells. This is a K-talk. Another person and I, who are also certified trainer by the name of James, he is also a K, I'm a K. There was one time we had a talk after the Mandarin lunch. So we were talking about DISC, D-I-S-C, because we are also, both of us are certified. And there's a poor girl sitting in between who is an A. And then we talk about this until we go so deep, the A said, what are you talking about? We talk about the history, we talk about the scientific research, we talk about the validity and relevance of the data. The lady cannot answer. Can I just get out of this conversation? Yeah, this is the K talk. The K can go so deep. That's why we tend to lose a lot of people. So if I don't know this system, what happened? I would lose all of you already. So I don't speak K language. So Ks, they are very much into their so-called world of their own. They love to learn, they love to study, they love to master certain skills, they love to be the subject matter expert. To their mind, they just love to learn. Okay, so this is the thing. Values-wise, one thing I want you to make sure that when you sell a K, you need to get your facts right. Facts right for bank, for blueprint is about credibility. But the facts right under knowledge is that I remember Wesker 3 months ago on 28th of February 2017, he have said to me that the price of this program is 1998. Why are you selling me now at 1999? This is K. Never ever give wrong facts. Because K can remember precisely what you say, when you say, and how you say it. Yeah. I actually debated with my ex-coach. I say, Coach, 2 years ago you offered this program in Singapore for 6,997. Why are you offering this program at such a low price of 5,000? Then my coach pushed me all the way, saying, hey, you know what, Jack, this program offered in South Africa, of course the cost is cheaper lah, but in Singapore the cost is higher, of course we have to mark up one. He's bluffing me all the way. So I don't believe that. But the thing is that I can remember the numbers. So never shortchange a K by just bluff by wing. Don't wing the K. Don't bluff. Don't pretend that you are subject matter expert. If you are not a tax expert, don't sell me tax. I will put you down. That's why in my industry, I hate people. In my training, I constantly hate people who are accountants, who are auditors, but learn tax from their job, and they like to start training people or teaching people tax or do tax advice, but they are not expert. I hate them because this is my area. Because we are the master of our areas of expertise. So you see, this is a K talk. So K can't be closed. There's no way you can close a K. Forget it. When a K says something called no-brainer, the K close. So that program, on Sunday, the guy who is speaking the B, the N, and the K, I said, there's no-brainer. I went to sign. I just stood up, I went to sign. I don't even think about it. I said, this piece of information is what I am lacking now. I need that. I just go and sign. I don't even think, because I close myself. It's a classic. Like if you are putting an idea, you need me to think about it, I will tell you, I will think about it. And K says, think about it, it means K is okay. K will really think about it. And when they unlock that logic, they say it makes sense, it is no-brainer, the K will come to you, can I buy from you? That is how K works. You can't expect a K to give you a yes immediately until the K sorted out himself. Okay, it makes sense. It's no-brainer. Like Jonathan knows that I've actually said no-brainer twice, and that's why I have got 2 programs that I need to do. That's no-brainer. So people ask, how do you read? So anybody remembers Spock in Star Trek? Yep. So the K says, thank you very much. Don't touch me. Don't touch me. So we have our own space. We honor our space. We respect our space. And you see that you don't come to my space. If you come further, I will step back. Don't touch me. It's a joke, but you know what? This is what I do also. Like, okay, thank you very much. Don't touch me. So this is what we do. And sometimes when they talk about business card, they don't actually shake hands. They don't really like keep a business card as business cards. They will like use the business cards as a connection. So I'll give you a business card. But you see, instead of touching, say, I'll give you a card like that. So this is what you see there. It's no human connection. It's not that we are not human, it's just that we don't like the physical touch. So one time my coach asked, you don't like physical touch? May I ask you a very, very honest question? I say, that might hurt you. Have you been sexually abused in the past? No, I have never been sexually abused. So the thing is that you get this kind of question, I feel offended, not because because of what is, the question is so funny that I don't know how to respond because K just don't like the physical touch. Why? Don't know, I'm a K. I have no idea. Am I born like that? I think so. But what's wrong with that? So Yoram Batista is an Israeli who went to San Diego, US. He is a master of this, and he is a very, very K person. In fact, in the bank community, there are 3 perfect Ks. Perfect means that it's perfect. He is one, I'm the second. The third one I remember is from Europe. So we have got 2 perfect Ks here in front of you now. Okay, so what happened is that he said,
experience with the bank system has been nothing but fabulous. In fact, I purchased the bank system when I was starting a process of selling my previous company. And after a while, I found out that I was stuck with a lowball offer, which I really didn't like. In fact, I was actually thinking about not releasing the company for that price. And I was thinking that the person who made that offer to me was one personality type. And I went to lunch with that person. I totally prepared myself to meet that one personality type. And when we started to have that meeting, I used the system, I used the cards, and I identified pretty quickly that he was actually a totally different personality type. So using the bank system and changing the code and coming from a different space, I could actually talk to him, and within maybe a matter of 15 minutes, I managed to increase his offer, or to get him to increase his offer by $30,000. Not bad for 15 minutes, isn't it?
So if he's a K, he doesn't know this tool, he can't close the deal. Because K's problem is that we speak our lingo so much that we are living in a world. My wife always says, you are always living in your own world. Yes, I am, because I'm a knowledge person. So if I don't change, if I keep on using a K script on all sales situation, I will not be able to close a lot of deals. So therefore, what he says is truly important. You need to know how to speak other people's lingo. So the opportunity time is, what is your bank code? So this is something that you can all do. So the bank code basically is about having the 24 permutation. Now this 24 permutation is because of the 4 code. It depends on how you set the orders. So you actually can get 24 permutations. And most importantly, the statistic is that if you belong to, let's say, BANK, it means that out of these 24, if you are BANK, it means that you are not the other 23 groups. So for people who know math, sorry, like if you are knowledge, you should know. And what is the percentage of 4 out of 24? 4.16. I got it for you already. So it means that you have a 96% chance of not being able to close other people, if you take this to a deeper level to understand. So at the end of the day, this 4% chance is how many of you want to live in this 4% chance? And you ignore the 96%. You don't want that, then you need to find a solution. So what we are going to do is we demonstrate a crack the personality code process in 90 seconds or less. And as I promised you, I mean, if you have read my email, I promise you that I will give you the script. So the script, you can take a picture, not a problem. But before you take a picture, I want Sandy to come out. Because I'm just showing you that Sandy has not seen this card before. I talked to her yesterday. I talked about a process, but I didn't show her the card. And what Sandy needs to do, yeah, you see the card, but you have not touched the card before, right?
No, I
Okay.
touch on the computer.
Can you touch the card? Touch it, okay? So you are helping your partner on this, okay? So this is what you need to do. You just follow the script. Just, we invite you to stand up, okay, and do the process. And you can just pay attention to it. And I can tell you, this is the first time for bank trainers do that. It's called empowering someone to do it. Am I better than them? Thank you. It's a constant need to show proof that I'm better than them. Because why? She is that language.
Is this video?
Don't worry, I will not put you on spotlight. It's for me. In case I say something wrong, you want to sue me, I have the proof. Okay, you stand here. Because you need to see the screen. No, she has to, okay? You just follow this script. First question. No, and then say.
Before we get started, can you do me a favor?
Okay, say yes. Next.
Look at the information on the card,
Then,
on this card.
yeah, and then.
Read the values and sort them in the order of the choice. And the most important cards will be on top, and the least important cards will be at the bottom. So
Okay.
it will be in this sequence.
And then.
This will help me serve you better.
And.
And it will save us both same time.
Sometimes. Okay, and hand. And once you hand the cards, shut up. Don't say anything. And can someone time it? 65 seconds. Sandy, is that your first time?
Yes.
Have I told you to do this beforehand?
Empower me.
Have I told you to do this beforehand?
No.
Have I paid you to come here?
No.
Have we done any rehearsal before so that it is a scam?
Never.
Okay, good. Thank you. Okay. To reward you, I'll give you this outcome.
Oh. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for demonstrating for us. How do you feel? You can do this?
Can.
Can.
Cannot apply to my
Can.
area.
You need some coaching, I will help you on this.
Yeah, because what I need is that I don't want the physical.
Don't worry, I can help you. Remember my promise to you. Okay, so now let's deconstruct this. It's 4 language. Damn! Like this is 4 language? Yes. I'm actually reviewing the content of one of our courses called Bank Fundamentals. I've decided to give to you this. Why? Because there's no secret.
The call.
Yeah, the code is always here. You know that. What's the secret about this? There's no secret. In fact, I want as many people as possible to do it. Okay? So the thing is that if you don't want to do it because you don't have the card, it is still possible to do it online. So if you haven't done it, I invite you to go to this place called mybanco.com/Jack Wong. And what you need to do is in this website, you will see a place like this, which you will be asked to sort out the cards based on the order. So it's not most important on top, least important at the bottom. This one is the most important on the left, least important on the right. Okay, so you do have to sort out the cards because I see some of you give me BANK. When I see somebody give me BANK, I just wonder whether you sort out the card. Because it's very logical for me to assume that, right? Because cannot be just BANK, like I got like series of BANK coming to me and say, huh? Have you actually sorted out the card? So if you have got a BANK, please go back and sort out the card.
No, there is no instruction to
Yeah.
go with the card.
There's actually, in the order of importance from the first to the fourth, it's actually there. But the people, especially the A, will not give a damn. They'll just see and press and that's it. So I'm now giving you precise instruction. Sort the card in the order, most important on the left, least important at the right, okay? So once you have got this and you will be entering an email address, I'm not going to sell you anything with that email address, don't worry, I'm not selling you anything. But you will get actually a bank report, a Banco report. The report, first of all, will go to you. That's why you need to have the right order. If you give me BANK and your code happens to be ANKB, then you get the wrong report. So in order to get the right report, you need to really get to the right order. That is what you need. So the thing about this program is that if you are worried about lead generation, if you are constantly worried about lead generation, what if this tool allows you to create a list of potential customers or prospects? What if you ask these people to go to your place, your dashboard, to invite them to sort the card, and in 90 seconds or less, they just give you an email, they will get a report, and you capture the email address, the name, the numbers. And whenever you are talking about something with this person, is that I know his code is a particular one. Every time when I'm engaged in a particular conversation with him or Wesker, I will strategically craft my presentation in his lingo. So therefore, that is the beauty of this system. So if you are wonder whether you need a lead generation system, I've got 118 names on my dashboard. Thank you for all contribution. But this is how we collect the names. It can be done. Okay? So you as the dashboard owner, if you're getting your dashboard, you basically will have a list of people with your code, with the email address, with the phone number, but some people just don't give phone number, I understand. And you can actually see the combination. You can use that as a system to track. And let's say I have a product I want to sell to the nurturing people. So I pull out a group of nurturing people and I give them the nurturing product. You can do that, it's up to you. So this is one of the things that we do. Okay? So bank is perfect for who? Perfect for sales, perfect for financial services, real estate, professionals, online marketers, relationship, speakers, coaches, education, consultants, leadership, and corporate. Banks literally can do a lot of things in every area. And that's why at the end, you may ask why bank? Why is bank? So now I'm in pitch mode. I'm giving you warning, I'm now in pitch mode. I'm very transparent. I'm teaching you how to close. If you do not embrace the opportunity, it's fine. No problem. But I want you to know that I'm closing you now. Is other trainer doing this? Have you seen other preview where the trainers do this? They tell you I'm closing you now. No, I don't. Because my coach actually taught me the same thing. I'm teaching you how to close so that even though you don't embrace the product, at least you have learned something. At least you remember this experience. Oh, I'm being closed now, and I'm ready for this. Whether I buy or not doesn't matter. At least I learned something. Okay? So I'm now in pitch mode. Get ready, Okay, offline. So how many of you actually have learned something today? How many of you would like me to give you a holding hand so that in the next 12 months on our journey, I'm guiding you step-by-step process so that you are able to embark on this journey with me to be able to master the skill of bank, which is a very simple process. You will then be able to help a lot of people, your prospect, your clients, and most importantly, how many of you have a team member in your team right now? How many of you have been wanting to grow your team to scale it? So do you realize that in order to sell, and you need a team, and your job as the teacher and leader is to teach your team how to sell? How many of you know what I'm talking about? So the point is that I want to mentor you. I want to help you master this skill so that you become the logical choice. You become the only person in your field to be able to understand this and master this and be the best salesperson that you always want to be. Have I been using 4 languages? Okay, so here's what Les Brown says. Les Brown says bank is a game changer. Okay, so it dramatically increases your income for every entrepreneur and sales professional. This system will strengthen your confidence, expand your selling skill. So now what we are talking about is this system. We call bank as a language skill. We have this mission vision to say that bank is our one world language. If this bank community can serve all the people around the world, we speak the bank lingo, how best this world can be. Nurturing. Okay, so the solution is bank. So what we are going to talk about is an opportunity for you to embrace if you choose to. And this opportunity is not once in a lifetime, but is very critical. Because how many of you seriously want to solve your problem in lead generation, sales presentation, and obviously closing? How many of you would want to not spend thousands of dollars to pick this up? Because the offer is not going to be thousands of dollars. It's not going to be like that. Because I know some of you can't afford it. Okay? So this is the opportunity. What we are going to do is that a lot of you have been asking like what we sell. So therefore what we are selling is this thing on selling an idea for you to master the skills. And statistics shows that people are actually learning better 60% of the time by virtual training. Singapore is also talking about e-learning plus live training at the same time. And therefore, we truly believe that e-learning and live training together will build the best scenario for all of you. So virtual training is a 12-month package. In this 12 months, the whole program will be broken into bite sizes, which is 5 to 6 minutes. It's very easy to consume, and you have quiz at the end to make sure you complete the assessment. If you do not do the assessment on time, or you don't log into the account, I will hold you accountable. I'll make sure you do it. I'm speaking 4 languages, by the way. Okay? So the virtual training environment allows you to have these 12 months to complete the bank courses. There are 3 courses in bank. One is called the core subscription. The core subscription is tackling what we call the bank fundamentals. We have described to you the 48 values in the 4 sets of code. And what we do in bank fundamentals is we are going to illustrate and elaborate what these values actually mean and how you are able to use them in your own life, in your business. And I will tell you that there's so much information. You can do a research if you choose to, and you can find out more about this. Okay? So the core subscription will talk about bank code as a bank fundamental. The next subscription is really, I need to click all this because it's all information. You can actually do research on that. The pro subscription is dealing with 2 courses. The first course is the bank fundamentals. The second program is called speed coding. Like Sandy says that I cannot solve the card. I cannot ask the person to solve the card. Like yesterday, we have a phone conversation. I crack her code. I know she is that code. I respect you. I never say anything. So therefore, the thing is that how do I know her code? It's because of the questions I ask. So speed coding allows us to crack a person's code by conversation strategically designed, so that in 3 minutes, I should roughly know the primary code and the least primary code. I can't tell the second and third until I ask for more information, but I can get the first and last pretty easily. So that is the whole game plan. So speed coding is our second level course. So if you subscribe to Pro, it means that you get bank fundamentals, you get speed coding at the same time in one package. But most people actually will love the last one, which is our Platinum. So I'm going to show you Platinum, and which is the reason why you are here, I believe. Because Platinum is actually looking at 3 courses at the same time. Platinum subscription is bank fundamentals, speed coding, and the last one, power scripting. Power scripting is a program that helps you to sell ice to the Eskimos. That is what we always love to do. Is that you have to be standing in front of the room, speaking to a group of people you don't really know, and sell ice to the Eskimos. Like you have watched LinkedIn an article which says that I have to sell a pen to the CEO, well, we sell ice to the Eskimos. How are you going to sell ice to the Eskimos? This is what we learn in bank power scripting. And imagine we've said already that you need 4 presentations. So in power scripting, we help you to craft the 4 presentations that you need for your product, for your services. And most importantly, if you are speaking in front of the room as a trainer, you need to combine all 4 as one. So the objective of power scripting is 4 presentations for 4 different groups of people and 1 presentation for everyone. That is what I summarize in power scripting. And in Platinum, you'll be able to enjoy power scripting, you will enjoy bank fundamentals, and you can also enjoy speed coding as 1 year. But of course, it's not just 3 courses, because for Platinum, there are a lot of things inside. Honestly, can you tell that there are a lot of things inside by looking at these colors? That's why in Platinum, there are a lot more things. I'm not going to bore you the details unless you are okay. Otherwise, I'll just show you that it's actually more than that. Okay, so some of you may ask, so what is the investment on this? The investment as shown on the bank website is basically 1997. So I'm not going to do any knockdown close. I'll tell you the value, I will give you a special offer. I'm very frank, it's 1997. 1997 is US dollars. You may ask, but a bit expensive, right? How many of you feel that it's expensive? Yeah, I understand. So think about in Blueprint world, 1997, break it down into every month. How much does it cost? Less than $10 a day. If you embrace this opportunity, you will experience a tremendous speed of success, because I will not let you fail. I want to help you. I want to be the one to mentor you. So I've decided not to just do that for the sake of putting a cost and ask you to invest. If other trainers haven't done this, it's because they don't know how to run their business. I know, so I'm going to give you something special. I'm going to give you this, and I have already thought about this for a very long time. So therefore, I'm going to give you something. Would you want bonuses?
Yeah.
Would you want bonuses? How many of you want bonuses? Seriously, how many of you would like to have bonuses? To give you some sweeter deal. This is what I'm going to do. Okay, so the value of Platinum is $19,997. Forget it, it's just $20,000. Okay, so I'm going to give you something very special. And what is happening is that you know the investment is 1997, I'm going to give you something that is reasonable because I want you to make your money back. My job is to help you make your money back fast. Okay, so this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to quickly turn this to the slides. It's bonus. Okay, first one. Jack consultation is very powerful. Those who've been to my consultation, they don't know what to say. Because what I'm going to do is that I'm going to give you 2 hours of my consultation, specifically to look at your lead gen, crafting your speech, and most importantly, help you close. I'll be looking at your closing script. If you are thinking that closing script is important, I'll help you look at your presentation. If you think your presentation is important, I'll tackle the lead gen question if you feel lead gen is important. Or for that matter, if you have any questions about the sales cycle, let me look at this and see how I can create something magic. Okay, so my consultation hour is $10,000 an hour. So I'll give you 2. On my website, I always give free 30 minutes. I give you 2 hours. That's my commitment. And sometimes, you know, like 2 hours can turn into 4 hours. I just forget my time. Okay, so this is number 1. So I actually have the authority to help people to crack the code in business, not because I have written a book for the sake of writing a book. I was featured on podcast. And the podcast is, this one was about 3 simple moves to instantly create any business you always wanted. So I have a podcast as something that as a proof. This guy, some of you may not know him, he's a Malaysian, and his name is Desmond, a 7-figure internet marketer, author, speakers. I just give him a 3 simple step method, and this is what he said.
This is Desmond Wong here. I'm an international speaker, best-selling author of the book Against All Odds, and I specialize in teaching people how to start their online business and produce fantastic transformational results. Now, before meeting Jack Wong, I was very clueless about how to help someone to go from where they are to where they want to be in a very effective way through the facilitation mode. And this is because I've always been teaching in a way from the heart, but not in a very structural way. But Jack has taught me how to structure everything in a very effective process, resulting in hundreds and hundreds of success stories, as well as tens and thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars of additional sales, thanks to Jack's simple 3-step methods.
He's not a blueprint. So I give him a blueprint input and he rocked the room in Penang, Kuala Lumpur, and Ho Chi Minh City. He's a 7-figure internet marketer. He made his first million at the age of 26. So he's not a nobody. He's somebody in the internet marketing. So what I'm going to do is that I'm also giving you a bonus of 2 live training tickets. Now, honestly, I don't know when it will be. Is there expiration time? No, I'm not going to give you expiration time. As and when I've got a live training, I will give it to you. And you don't get 1, you get 2 tickets. 2 tickets of bank fundamentals, 2 tickets of power scripting. So other than virtual training, you get 2 live tickets for a 2 days training. I will get you in. You'll be only required to invest in the material cost, which is approximately $50. Just to be fair, I cannot just give you something without charging because the material cost is it's not like something zero. So just about $50 of material cost, but the training is free. So this is my second bonus. So 2 tickets. Next thing, people always love to put something called private Facebook group. So I also know that. So private Facebook group, number 1, you are getting 2 Facebook group. Not 1, but 2. The first one is mine, where you can actually ask any question. I post my high-level training there. And people ask, Jack, are you crazy to do a private Facebook group? You don't have time for that. Well, if you are my client, I will take care of you. So this is a Facebook group called Inner Circle. It's Jack Wong's Sales Explosion and Influence Inner Circle, which is for clients to be in. And you know what? I will give you live training. Some of you actually wonder why this training is important, because a lot of you don't have books. How many of you don't have a book right now? And how many of you seriously want to write a book? And you need a book? Say yes, everyone needs a book. You can't just give business card away, because business cards worth nothing. I don't get how you design a business card, it just means nothing. You need a book. So in this Facebook group, I'm going to give you an 8-step process of how to write a book. I can't announce it, but I just want to share with you that I'm going to do that. An X-step method of helping you how to write a book. Okay, I will do that here. I'll post some live training, some live webinar, Facebook Live, everything that I can do to help you, I will do that. Okay, so this is one. The second one is actually the bank nations. This is for the customers of bank. It is a worldwide bank customers group. So it's just not about you, about your local customers here. It's also other people. So right now we have about 380, as of yesterday, is 381 members in this private Facebook group. So it's only accessible by customers of bank. So you have access to that. As soon as you register, I will send you the name to the bank headquarters. You'll be able to get into this group. Okay, so this is true private Facebook group. So I add on to make the deal even sweeter for some of you. I'm going to give you something more. Number one is my book, Autograph. Some of you have it, so never mind. If you have it, you just have it. But some of you who don't have it, you want an autograph copy, I'm happy to give it to you. Today, you don't see that I'm actually selling any cards. Why? Because I don't want to sell cards. The last time I don't want to sell cards. I'm going to give you the cards. I'm going to give you the cards if you decide to enroll. So summarizing it, what happened is that the whole package is you got the Platinum Pro subscription, you got my consultation, you got 2 tickets of bank live training 2 days, you got my Facebook group private access, you got the Bank Nation private Facebook group, you've got an autographed copy of my bestseller, and also the bank value cards. So altogether the value is 66,200, but forget it, I'm only asking you for 1997 US dollars. By the way, if you want to buy today, your card will not be charged, because Singapore law says 5 days cooling off. So what I want you to do is, if you decide to embrace the opportunity, if you are not sure whether you want it or not, I still want you to fill in the form. Because what happens is that I will contact all of you one by one and will address all the questions. I don't want to say, hey, go to the bank and register now. It's not me. Because I may think that you may not be a good fit. So I want you to seriously think about asking me questions for you to decide whether this opportunity is for you or not. So I want you to do is very simple. You just grab the form, fill in the detail. Don't fill me the credit card. I don't need your credit card today. Just fill me the form if you're serious. If money is a concern, fill in the form first and let me see how I can help you on this. Okay? And then you will be able, I will contact you, and then I will talk to you individually one-on-one. Okay? So have I sold you anything? You have, that's why I say you can leave your credit card behind. I'm not charging you a credit card. I'm not asking you for anything. So if this opportunity is for you, then you fill in the form, and then we talk about it. You can say no to me later. If you can say no to me later, that's okay. But if you say no to me now, that means this opportunity is not for you, then sorry lah. Maybe we will see each other another time. Okay? Just fill in your name, your email address, and your number. These are all the things that I need. That's all. Yeah. $29.97 is actually the band pass. You will get the band pass, which is the dashboard. But that is what happens is that if you are getting the band pass subscription, you pay $30 a month roughly. You can choose not to have the band pass. You can ignore that, yes. We'll give you 130 days anyway. We'll give you 130 days anyway. That's free, and you just need to cancel it. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, I'm done with one. Thank you.
Oh, thank you.
For you, I give discount. You want?
I was thinking I just want to do power scripting.
Power scripting I need to arrange because the class
the class, unfortunately, they don't want to give us any mandate of doing power scripting here.
The power scripting that was too expensive.
I know. I need to think of boss how to do power scripting. Because we don't have the mandate to do power scripting here. We only have the mandate to do bank fundamentals and speed coding.
Yeah. I can't possibly do speed coding again, right?
Now you come back, I give you discount. I give you discount, no problem.
Okay.
You just have to cover material cost and pay me something to cover the rental. Okay? Okay? I'm not charging you because people at least reimburse my rental.
Hey, you taught speed coder first batch Singapore.
I remember. So I want you to. Okay, no problem.
You are the pro, ma.
I'm the pro, whatever. Okay. Okay, so we keep in contact. Thank you.
Can I actually use something?
Sure, go ahead.
Just now you were saying that there are 4 codes, right?
Yeah, that's right.
There isn't that mixed code.
Like what?
Like for example, like CU, you can be maybe K, maybe D, partial.
So in bank fundamentals, you'll be given a very comprehensive assessment, so you are able to tell precisely the score.
So that means this person definitely is 100% is K.
Well, what I mean is that in bank fundamentals, so what you do is that you answer 20 questions, and then you get the score. So perhaps your score on bank, on blueprint is 20, whereas for knowledge is 21. So based on that, you are KB. Using the card, 90 seconds, we can't give that precision. But it's already a good piece to start. Yeah, so you want the precision, then bank fundamentals take care of that. We actually ask everyone to complete the 20 question assessment.
20 questions is quite a lot, right?
No lah, it's a very simple one. It's just like what you feel like, tick, 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 tick. If you are taking more than 5 minutes to fill in, I need to ask you, do you understand the question? It's very fast one. 5 minutes you should be able to do. That's what we do, bank fundamentals. Okay, thank you. You're welcome.
What you mean exactly?
It's because sometimes I will say that you are still not very familiar with the system.
No, what I mean is as naming or my clients that you
Yes, that's why you are not familiar. It takes time for you to familiarize and master the system. Because when you master the system, all these so-called doubts can be shortened.
So it means that I will be able to guide my clients how they actually.
Just the what I'm guiding. It's the same thing. I'm guiding you so they can guide your It's the same idea.
Because for me also, no worries. It's like when I really see him, I don't see him as right. Can I just be as the action?
So instead of you closing your view, you need to ask a couple of questions. And now, this is the one line. So this is the color, this is the sequence, right?
Yes.
Okay, good. Okay, so your name? Lawrence. Hi, Lawrence. Today I want to talk about an opportunity. The opportunity that is perhaps once in a lifetime for you to because there's no more. If you ask me, is there any chance? Sorry, so you either say yes or no. I'm not going to review all the details. I just want to show you that in 12 months, in fact, in the first 3 months, you will see yourself making the first $100 using the system. You will see the result in 3 months. If you work with me together, if you commit your time, you really want to be the best of the best, I'll make you $100 in the first month. Will you be something that you need?
Are you the one with the unicorn?
Yeah, the unicorn.
I haven't even thought about unicorn. It's not unicorn.
And Jordan.
So you don't know trust you. It's fine.
They're all very similar.
This is
long time, man. That's why I was along the way.
So some A's are not loud. Some A's, they are silent. So you still have to ask questions like,
No, but I think the dressing is look
really very
nice.
nice. So that's why you need to ask
Like,
questions.
not sure blueprint and okay or what.
The whole point is
very
you need to ask. Like you tell Lawrence, you'd like to have more.
confused.
It's still already the process.
I can be
Because the process that means okay. What's the background?
Actually, I thought I'm never be.
Network marketing.
Didn't know.
Interesting. Network marketing is supposed to help people, and you are in network marketing.
Really wrong line.
I don't know, it sounds a bit funny that you are in network marketing, this is your least important one. But I guess that in network marketing, you want to get a lot of downline, right? So that you can get those commission, you want to be a winner, right? And you like the network marketing structure. The purpose is for yourself, not for helping other people. So you're still in the right industry. With a different purpose. Yeah. Then some people just want to be the winner. Like, do you love the idea of going to the stage and get the clap? It's like the reward of being the top sales team of 2017. Lauren!
Yeah, you coming back? Okay.
I know you. See, you know better. I didn't even know you in the first place, but by giving me this, I can tell his reason for going for network marketing is for himself. It's not for other people. He and Lenny Gomez are opposite. Lenny Gomez is really angry. She wants to help her people. Yours is completely different. But there's no right or wrong. There's no right or wrong.
Things can change over time.
But then what did I answer? What did I tell you? The answer now.
It will see whether I can
No problem, go ahead.
It will change a bit along the line, but the fundamental is still remains the same. Is that how I answer?
Okay, so the answer is that the fact is a values-based system. So value-based system means that when you evolve, your values might change. So therefore, it might be possible that there is a crossover of the values, so that the code changes. But let's say within the values, just like for learning, the values of learning is not a lot, whereas you treasure a lot of accuracy. So for some reason there is a switch within, then you don't see a change of the code. It's only when you have a crossover. For example, my whole life I've been doing a lot of community work. Suddenly I need to take care of myself, I need to do study, I feel that I need to master certain things, I may be changing from the nurturing to the knowledge. I'm not saying that it will be independent. So there's a possibility that the code might change. But it's very rare in the bank history, only 3 people have a change of the code, the primary code. It's very rare. It's very rare. The first one.
For example, have a speed on things. So when the person like for example, okay, I have an offer for something, you have to grab it fast. So the person is really action that fast. Along the way being conditioned that way. So is that classified under action?
Well, you can't push the cow unless the cow is willing. You cannot push the cow unless the cow is willing. Bro, okay, see you bye bye. So the thing is that there must be a willing buyer and willing seller.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because these actually will enable to see whether categories of materials that actually suitable for them. Would these
Bank fundamentals addresses that too. Bank fundamentals itself will talk about like which professions will be more suitable. Well, you have platinum, you have 1 access, you can do anything, I can't see.
But you don't go and answer my quiz question then.
Yeah, you just have to take care of that part. The point is that 1 access you can do anything. Because I can only watch the progress of the locking person, but I cannot tell who is the guy locking.
I actually from the website I saw that they actually have
Yeah, the $1 cost. But the $1 cost is basically a preview.
Oh, it's not the core value.
No, of course not. The $1 is just to get you in, and then they will close you for the core, pro, or platinum. So you have done the intro course today already. You have done before you came, and you have seen another intro course. Do you notice that I didn't really follow the slides? Because that is how I show proof that I'm really doing this for my life.
So just now you mentioned about the mentorship. So because I remember this, Charity mentions that for all the trainers, they actually had this so-called core values that they wanted to make sure all those people that sign up, they promise them to so-called guiding them. So,
yeah, that is my part. Because I'm the trainer, I have to be responsible. It's not them. You don't disturb them, I will be disturbed. You cannot disturb them. They say that I pay you commission, they should disturb you. You don't disturb them. Okay. So whatever problem you have, you come to me. You don't disturb them. Unless it talks about like the technical. For example, like I can't log in, I don't know what to do. Yes, on that count.